Identity confusion. English summary story. Gail, working a busy Saturday night at the hospital, gets encouraged by Dr. Kennedy to take a break. She grabs a cup of not-so-great coffee from the machine and reads about Alex Hale, a famous singer performing in Midhurst. Suddenly, an emergency arrives. A man is severely injured, needing urgent care. Gail rushes to help, encountering two men, one smoking in the hospital, causing a stir. She tries to gather essential details for the hospital amid the chaos. The man asked Gail questions about a person named Alex Hale. Gail didn't know Alex and was busy. They discussed Alex's age and where he lives. Gail noted down the address at the Holiday Inn. When asked about Alex's family, Gail was told that his parents are deceased, and the man claimed to be Alex's manager. Gail found the man's behavior odd but continued questioning about Alex's religion and church attendance. Gail was talking to Mr. Tucker, who was concerned about Alex Hale's condition. He demanded a better doctor for Alex, saying he didn't want Alex in a small hospital. Gail explained the situation, but Tucker was more focused on Alex's concert tour than his health. Dr. Kennedy told Tucker they couldn't move Alex because he was seriously injured and needed specialized care. Tucker, insisting on a private hospital, argued about Alex's fame and the need for the best doctors. Gail, meanwhile, smiled as she served tea to an elderly woman in the nearby room. Gail finished her shift and told her friends about the car crash involving Alex Hale, a famous singer. She went to bed as it was early morning. Later, she woke up, preparing for work. While having breakfast, she saw news about Alex's accident. The report said Alex was in the hospital but smiling and recovering. This confused Gail as she knew he had a severe injury. Penny, her friend, mentioned seeing Alex in his room, sitting and smiling. Gail was surprised because she knew Alex was in a coma with a serious back injury. Dr. Casey warned them not to speak to the media about Alex's condition. Gail, working on Sunday evening, had to get medicine and saw a tall man in a black coat standing near Alex's room, which was unusual. Gail approached the man and asked why he was there. He mentioned that Mr. Tucker didn't want reporters or TV people near Alex. Gail excused herself, pretending Dr. Kennedy had asked her to check on Alex, but the man pointed out a nurse had just been in there. Gail saw Alex in a coma through the bandages, checked the machines, and left. Later, the head nurse called Gail to her office and questioned why she was in Alex's room. Gail explained she was from the casualty department and had checked in as she was concerned about Alex's condition. She apologized for entering the room without permission. Gail got scolded by the head nurse for going into Alex's room without permission. She apologized and promised not to do it again. Later, while working in the casualty office, Dr. Casey called looking for Dr. Kennedy, sounding upset. Dr. Kennedy got off the phone, furious. Dr. Casey informed him that Mr. Tucker took Alex from the hospital while he was still in a coma. Gail was surprised, recalling Alex's car accident. Months later, Gail was watching TV and saw a program featuring Alex Hale, saying he'd had plastic surgery after the accident. Penny confirmed from the news that Alex had surgery in Switzerland and was now doing well, even seen dancing on TV. Gail went shopping in Midhurst and visited a clothes shop. They were playing a song she recognized, thinking it might become a big hit. Suddenly, she bumped into an old friend, Diane, whom she hadn't seen in years. They went for coffee to catch up. Diane had many shopping bags and shared that she was working at an expensive private hospital near Frampton, which paid her well. She mentioned caring for a young man who had a severe car crash, was in a coma for 3 months, but recently woke up. This caught Gail's attention. Gail learned from her friend, Diane, that she worked at a private hospital and was looking after a young man who thought he was a famous rock star named Alex Hale. Diane mentioned another man named Richard Tucker, who also believed he was the rock star. Richard was badly injured in a car crash and didn't want any visitors, as per his brother's request. Despite his appearance, Diane said Richard was a nice person. Gail, interested in a new job, asked if the hospital needed nurses. Diane invited her to visit the hospital the next day, assuring her that it was fine as the hospital head, Dr. Green, wouldn't be there on Sundays. Gail arrived late at a private hospital and met her friend Diane. The hospital was luxurious, with expensive cars parked outside. Diane guided Gail around, showcasing the hospital's grandeur. Curious about Richard Tucker, a man she mentioned earlier, Gail asked to see him. Diane agreed, although Tucker usually had no visitors. Upon entering Richard's dark room, Gail realized he was calling himself Alex Hale, the famous singer. He pleaded for validation, confused about his identity. Gail comforted him, acknowledging he was indeed Alex. Alex revealed his family situation and expressed fear of Tucker, claiming to feel like a prisoner. Gail reassured him, promising to help. Afterward, Gail decided to contact the news agency to share the story.